All right, first of all, Ben, thanks so much for joining us here on Astro. It's an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I understand you've had a good impression of Malaysia so far, and I'm very grateful for that. But let's talk about your love for pickleball, of course. You're one of the best players in the world, if not the best. But how did that love start, and at what point, was there a turning point that you realized, wow, I could make a career out of this, I could be a professional out of this?
Yeah, so I started playing quite a long time ago now, in 2016, so about 9 years, more than 9 years now, and at that time pickleball looked very different. It was not yet really a professional sport. There were some professional tournaments, but there was no professional tour or anything like that. So when I picked it up, it was all just about fun. Like, I was just having fun playing every day. I'd travel for tournaments, not because I was trying to make money. Like, if you made money, that was just a bonus. If you came out even on travel expenses, like, that was a great weekend for you. Everyone played because they loved the game and they loved competing, and it was just one big party there, basically. So that's kind of what got me into pickleball, and that's how it kept me playing. It was just incredibly fun, and the people were amazing. I would say it took probably 3 years of playing and traveling and competing, all for fun, before I actually started to consider even really a serious sport or a professional sport, because the tournaments were getting bigger, prize money was getting bigger, sponsors were getting bigger, there were more and more people playing and recognizing it. I remember when I first started playing, if I told somebody I played pickleball, they were like, what's that? Like 90% of the time. And that turned into, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And then eventually that turned into more and more tournaments being just worth going to and actually making money, and the same with sponsors. And then I was in school at the time, and I would say somewhere between my sophomore to junior year, I kind of started to realize this is actually very real. There's a pro tour now, and I can probably play this professionally when I'm done with school if I want to. And then that transitioned into, by the time I graduated, I was like, I'm definitely doing this, and I'm not going to use what I studied in school. So it was a gradual transition, but it was always a fun one with pickleball.
But you grew up in a very sporty family. I mean, your brother is very sporty himself as well. But I'm curious, when you guys play with each other, when you play amongst the family, who always wins, you or your brother?
Well, he's my older brother by 6 years, so I grew up pretty much losing to him in every sport. So I played whatever sport he did, and because he was so much older and bigger than me always, I would lose at everything. Pickleball was one of the first ones where I played before him, so I was better than him always.
Well, he say that you're better than him though at home.
Yeah, because he's never beaten me. But I was very used to losing to him. So now in most sports and most games, we go pretty even, because we're both grown-up adults now. So it kind of depends on whoever was kind of specialized in whatever it is that we play. But yeah, he's a phenomenal athlete as well.
How did you sort of take your, I mean, with your history growing up, you played table tennis, you played tennis as well. I think you were helping with your brother. Yeah, yeah, of course, that's my job. But how did you take all of that, what you've learned, how has that impacted your pickleball game, you feel? Yeah,
well, I think that pickleball is very interesting in that it attracts all types of athletes from a variety of backgrounds, and they each kind of bring something special to it. Like, you can often, once you've played pickleball for a while, you can recognize when somebody comes from a certain background sport. You can be like, oh, that's a baseball player, that's a racquetball player, because they have certain strengths and certain weaknesses. So for me, it was about adapting each sport that I played, baseball, tennis, table tennis, and bringing the strengths of whatever game I played into pickleball and trying to get rid of the weaknesses, right? So I think the more sports you play, the more you can bring over into pickleball, and there's a whole host of strengths and advantages that those sports give you. And then it's more just kind of thinking through, what do I need the habits that I need to get rid of that are not helping me, and what can I get better at, and all that. So sports are incredible, and I'm thankful that I played so many that were helpful for pickleball for me.
I think when you speak to a lot of pickleball players today, they want to know what your strategy is going into the game. I play a bit of pickleball, obviously not as great as you, but I'm more curious if you have any, when you go into a match, do you have any superstition?
Superstition, yeah. So I know a lot of athletes do have a lot of superstitions. I don't have superstitions so much as I have certain types of preparation. So I've always liked the quote that the more prepared I am, the more lucky I seem to be. Which is, I think, definitely true. Just the more. So
it's not putting your right sock on first before your left. Okay.
No. It's you know, you could view certain types of preparation as superstition because they're repetitive. It's the things that you do every time. At the end of the day, that's kind of what a superstition is. But to me, it's more about believing that preparedness makes you a better player, a more prepared player. So to me, it's about doing the same things in the same way, which some people might call superstition, but I don't think they're very weird things. It's more just like, you know, eat similar stuff, get the right amount of sleep, just preparation-based stuff.
So speaking of preparation, I want to know what your average training day is like. So
Yeah, training day, sure.
Or like any drills that you particularly like?
Yeah, so an average training day, I would say, is about 2.5 hours on court. It can be games or it can be drilling, usually one-on-one or 4 people for games. And in games or drilling or whatever it is, I usually try to isolate stuff, even if it is games, to be working on and thinking about, usually not more than like 1 or 2 things. I think most people, including myself, get a lot better at things more quickly when you're focusing on 1 or maybe 2 things, even while you're playing games. So that's kind of how I practice. And then after practice, it's definitely always stretching. Stretching takes a good amount of time. And then just gym work. Gym is usually about 1.5 hours most days. I do like off days. I think taking time off is very important, both physically and mentally. So I usually train about 5 days a week, and yeah, 2.5 hours on court, 1.5 hours in the gym, plus stretch time. And then that doesn't encompass the things I do for diet and sleep and hydration, all that plays a role as well. But that's
any particular
stuff.
Drills that you like or that you normally recommend to
Sure.
pickleball players who, they want to improve their game?
Yeah, so I mean, once you get to a certain level and amount of time, it becomes very much a game of isolate very specific things and specific shots that you need to get better at. That's kind of the point I'm at. But before that, it's mostly about repetition at very basic stuff. Like you want to get very, very good at like 3-4 basic things. And how I got really good initially, one of my favorite drills was just playing half court singles cross court, which is basically just playing one-on-one with somebody and only hitting it cross court to the 2 sides. So it basically simulates doubles, but you get all the balls, you get double the reps. So if you have a good drilling partner, play a lot of half court singles with them, it's helpful for everybody. It still is today. I'm
going to start doing that then. I'm going to start doing that. When you talk about pickleball being one of the fastest, in Malaysia, it's one of the fastest growing sport. I can tell you that. It's taken Malaysia by storm. What do you foresee the challenges of the sport to be in the future in terms of, okay, I'm sure one day you look forward to it being an Olympic sport, perhaps?
Yeah. Challenges for the sport, honestly, I think pickleball does so many things so well naturally, like it just has so much going for it. Challenges, I would say, of course, I think any industry like this that is just booming, so to speak, that is growing so rapidly. Business, of course, is wonderful. We love business. Business in pickleball is phenomenal. I guess one of the challenges is that it doesn't become too much about that people still kind of keep in perspective that it is a sport and a game at the end of the day, and it's about enjoyment and health and people. It's not just about business and money, even though that is a healthy part of pickleball as well. So I think that can be a challenge for people sometimes. I've seen it before, and it's important to keep perspective, I think. I'm sure there will be a lot more challenges than that, but thus far, I think pickleball does such a great job of overcoming them naturally. I don't think you need to overcoach pickleball itself in a way. It's a sport that solves its own problems in a lot of ways. There's no mastermind behind pickleball. Pickleball is its own mastermind, so let it do its thing.
I like that perspective, really, actually. But when a lot of fans watch you on court, they almost think you're superhuman sometimes at the way that you play. But I'm sure, I mean, as with anybody, you have your tough moments, right? When you look back on your career so far, what has been the one tough loss that you, I guess, maybe till today, you wish you'd done better at that?
Tough loss. None of them really come to mind. I guess you remember a host of losses, but none of them are ones where I really regretted anything. And I think that's important for most people. Like, losses can hurt, and they do hurt at the time, and they might hurt for a while after that. But the only thing that would be lasting, the only thing that I would remember, and it's kind of a good thing that I don't, is if I didn't feel like I left it all on the court, like if I didn't give it my all. That's probably the most important thing. So as long as you feel like you did your best, even if you lost, it's okay. There's more matches to be won, and you can't be perfect every time. So yeah, I can't say I really have one in particular, but yeah, losing is never good.
But it's motivation to get better, isn't it? To
100%, yeah, and you can certainly learn from your losses. A lot of people say you learn more from your losses than your wins, and that's maybe not true with all of them, but certainly some of them.
Well, with all your experience, is there a particular shot or tactic that people still fall for, even at a pro level that you see?
Yeah, I think pickleball is actually a lot about, at least for me, it's not about necessarily doing something unpredictable. I think a lot of people get lost in trying to be unpredictable, and that can be good at times. There's some element of that in pickleball, but really the best shots in pickleball are the ones that you see coming and are so good that it doesn't matter. So you try to make a strength in your game that is so good that it doesn't matter if they know it's coming.
Right. How long would you say, if you were to look at a crystal ball right now and predict the future, how long would you say before pickleball could be an Olympic sport?
I guess that's not really my forte too much. I don't know too much about the whole Olympic process. I know it is fairly complicated, more than people think. If I had to guess, I'm going to say 2032. I heard it is maybe in Australia in 2032, and I know Australia does love pickleball. If that's true, then I think it could definitely happen in 2032 because Australia is very gung-ho about their pickleball.
Okay, if there was one athlete in the world, other than pickleball players, that you could go up against in a match, in a pickleball match, who would it be? Any athlete?
Any athlete in the world. That is a good question. There's so many phenomenal athletes, and there's a lot that I would love to meet and talk to and just kind of, pick their brain and hang out with for a day. But I'm going to go with Lewis Hamilton. Yeah,
Wow.
Formula One driver.
Okay.
Yes.
Who would you partner with then in the doubles?
Partner with, there's two people, or athlete-wise?
Yeah, athletes.
Athlete-wise.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Lewis would be one.
Okay.
Outside of that, I think Novak Djokovic is, where most of us that have, done really well in pickleball up to this point have come from a tennis background, including myself, as well as table tennis. But Novak being the greatest in tennis of all time and just a spectacular mental athlete besides the physical, I think would be really, really cool to play with.
Really good picks. I mean, superstar tennis player plus Lewis, who's obviously one of the best, if not the best at the moment in F1, and great reaction time as well. So
Phenomenal.
That's probably a good
analytical
advantage.
As well.
Yeah, of course as well. But if you were to have one advice to live by on and off court, what would it be?
Advice to live by. Is that the one that I should think about a little more? Is that
Maybe,
the tough question?
maybe.
Oh, you're keeping me on my toes.
I thought the athlete one would be tough for you, but I guess you already knew who you would pick.
I guess for me, it's probably about try to do what you enjoy as much as possible. I think people definitely get lost. Of course, it's so great to be ambitious and achieve your goals and all that, but at the end of the day, I think you should be focusing on what will be most fulfilling for you and try to make sure that what you're doing is fulfilling and that you're not just doing what you're told is going to make you satisfied or happy or whatever it is. Make sure that what you're doing is actually what is going to make you happy.
Okay, final one for me. Finish the sentence. Pickleball is?
Fun.
Okay, I like that. I like that.